Good morning, YouTube. This is Scott with InsideTheCurve.com, back with another video. If you didn't catch my previous video, I kind of gave the rundown of why I switched from Fusion 360 to Aspire, or just basically the Vectric software lineup. But I will be using Esprit for most of our videos. But starting out, I'm going to do a set of basic tutorial videos that can basically be all completed in the desktop version of Cut 2D inside of the Vectric software ecosystem. So to get started here, this is a new file here. So I got jobs set up. We're doing a single slide project here, and the width is going to be, let's say, just 10 inches by 10 inches, and our stock's going to be 3/4 of an inch. We are working in inches, not millimeter. Our zero position, we're going to zero everything based off the material surface. XY data position, we'll reference everything up to center, and I always set the resolution as high and just MDF because I think that's the best kind of appearance I like, but you can put it whatever you like to. We're going to hit OK. So here's kind of what a blank canvas starts out as inside of the Vectric ecosystem. So what we are making today is going to be a bit holder tray. If you didn't catch that by the title, I'm kind of telling you late in the game here, but to start out, we're going to draw a basic rectangle. Draw a rectangle tool. So we have our X that runs left to right across the screen, and our Y, which runs top bottom. So we are going to say our box in X is going to be 9 inches and 8 inches wide. Okay, and I do want a radius corner, so I can either do this now with the or later with the fillet tool, or I can actually do it inside the draw rectangle menu. Select that and go back to our rectangle tool, and radius external, apply, and it changes that one instead of making a new rectangle. Because the reason it did it on the outside the first go around there, that this wasn't a dotted line. So it made a new rectangle over top of that one. But with it now it's selected with a dotted line and it's represented by that, it put the 1 inch radius external corner on there. So we'll hit close on that. So we can see that our rectangle is not inside our work surface here, correct? So what we do here, we can see we have it selected. We go to the line, selected objects, and we're going to align it off our material here, left, right, and top and bottom. So that's dead center of our workpiece, our 10 by 10 square that we created at the beginning. So now we're going to put some circles in here for our bits. These will be standing vertically. So I'm going to draw a basic circle here. And I do have this set at 260. Most of my bits are 1/4 inch shank. So I went 10 thousandths heavy to get a little bit of clearance so they don't fit snugly with the expansion contraction of the lumber. That later on that might be too tight, but we can always just run a drill bit through it to open up them holes. So I have one hole drawn. Now we're going to use another tool here down here at the bottom, which is the array tool, array copy. So I select that, and I want here, you can see selected object size, and the X position our hole is of course 260, and the Y position it's 260 as well, since we did create just a circle. So here it gives you the how many rows in Y and how many columns in X, as we talked about it earlier, X and Y. So we can see we have 21 rows in Y this way, and 1 column at X. So I want to do, we'll say 6. And here's the spacing that you can have them. I'm good with 3/4. Okay. You can see that, put that up there. We can just drag this down, hit close on this. All they are all selected. Transform move. And we'll just drag these down here like so. So obviously we have too many holes, as you can see. So what we can do now is we can select this tool here, trim to the last selected objects. So what we will do is select this, trim selected left object, clear outside boundary, clear. So now what that did is cleared everything on the outside. But you can see that we do have some that were right on the edge, and it did clear those. So we'll just click these with shift and click, and then we will right click and delete. So we got rid of those, and I'm going to get rid of this one because it's just a little bit close to the edge. And I'll get rid of this one to make it uniform. I'm going to select all my holes like that, and I want to align these up and down. So with those selected, I'm going to select the up and down line tool here. So that's centered that within our workpiece there. So that's good. So now I want to create a rectangle over here that is just kind of like bulk storage or bits that I pull out to use on the job or whatever. They can be pulled from there. So what I'm going to do now is just draw another rectangle. Just going to manually drag it out. I'm going to do that 1 inch radius external again, like so. Close that out. I want to align this again, up and down. So now it's perfectly that way. And there is basically our bit tray. So now we are ready to actually add some toolpaths to this. And you can see this is taking no time at all to create this project. So I always like to pin this up here. I wish it would default to stay to that, but for some reason every time you close this program out, it does not stay. If anybody's got any tips on how to make it permanently stay pinned, that'd be great. All right, so the first thing we're going to want to do is the pocketing toolpath for this, and as well as this. I'm just going to use a pocket. I'm going to use a 3/16 hole and have it cut these out, or 3/16 cutter. Sorry, not 3/16, an 1/8 inch. So we are going to select all of our holes, going left to right. We're going to select pocket toolpath. So D is the start depth, and the C is our cut depth, as you can see here by the diagram there. We want to go, let's say we're at 3/4 material. We'll go down to a half. So it'd be a 1/4 inch into our material. We've got the 1/8 inch end mill. Calculate that. Preview selected toolpaths. And there we have our holes in there. 1/4 inch deep. I think that should be long enough. Not, like I said, we can go back and just drill them out a little deeper if need be. So that's that. I'm going to edit this because I'm going to make our other pocket. We can now switch over to getting this pocket put in. For this one, we're going to use a pocket toolpath again. However, we are going to use a 1/4. Make sure our feet, can set our feed rate inside of here. That looks good there. And the last thing to do is our outside. Select that line. We're going to select profile toolpath here. And then we're going to say our stock's 3/4. We'll go through a little bit deeper at 0.76. Edit our tool cutter here. Select our 1/4 inch end mill. We're moving at 70 inches a minute. Pass depth 200 thousandths. Okay. We'll add a couple tabs. Hit edit there. I'm going to manually put them where I want them. We'll just do 4 along our long edges here. Close. Thickness of tabs an 1/8 inch. That sounds about right. Length's a half. We'll slim that down to a quarter, so 0.25. Calculate that. It says it's going to cut through. Only cut through 10 thousandths, which is fine. Preview visible tool class. And there we have it. There is our basic bit tray, and that I'm not sure what the time on this video is, but that didn't take long at all. As you can see how quickly you can create projects here in the Vectric ecosystem. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm going to create a lot of these over the next coming weeks. And as I said in my last video, I am creating a CNC course for beginners. I do have quite a bit of background running CNC routers in the aerospace industry. So if you have any questions or information you want to know more about CNC routers, be sure to comment below and get that added, and we'll get that added into the course for you. Or also visit insidethecurve.com and get signed up on that list, and we will be taking your input into this course. So until next time, be well.